Hello, everyone. Starting here. I got a little tongue tie twisted there, but just checking my Facebook first. Make sure we are live. Okay. Well, this is a very important topic today. I go over this several times a day. Condensed versions for some agents that I'm coaching. Some I go on for hour-long conversations. This is a long topic, but I'm kind of condensing it. I got some notes of the things that I coach agents and train agents with, but I condensed it down to try to get it done in like 15 minutes because it's very important on lead sources. I know I've gone over many videos, different lead sources and things to do, but there's a specific plan or thought process that successful real estate agents do. Now, I'm going to give you some background on agents and what's been going on with agents for decades and things to think about in your business. So first is that the scary statistic is about 85 to 87% of agents are out of the business in 5 years. So if you're watching this and you're in the business less than 5 years, I don't want you to be part of that 87%. I want you to be part of that 13%. And any agent that is been in the business more than 5 years, congratulations, you're not part of that 87%. That's great. But the business doesn't stop there. I mean, just because you get over that 5-year hump, it doesn't mean that you're going to be successful in real estate. So there's 4 phases that real estate agents are in, and it's in any business. They're usually a startup phase, like a lot of you watching this and a lot of my new agents. We got lots of dozens and dozens of new agents right out of school this year. You're in a startup phase. But until you get into all the agents out there that are watching this, and if you're doing well and you're in the business definitely less than 5 years, and if you've been in the business less than 10 years too, but especially 5 years, if you are doing well now, congratulations, but that does not mean you're going to continue to do well. In real estate, it takes minimum 5 years growth. It takes a minimum, in my opinion, for a lifetime career, having good, steady growth in income and success for 10 years before you could feel comfortable knowing that your business will continue to be good for a whole career. Of course, you have to keep all the things you're doing, all the good things up and do the right things. But there's so many times I see agents, and I've seen it 28 years, do really well for a couple years and then out of the business the 4th year, 5th year. Or all of a sudden they've been in the business 6-7 years and they've done pretty good. They were doing well and all of a sudden falls off the planet. So what I'm trying to explain to you is that unless you have a steady growth and you do this consistently for years, minimum 5 years to 10 years, it's not a lifetime career could be just 1 year off of no income or very little income because your whole business falls apart, that you get out of the business. So the point I'm making is that you have to continue to grow over 5 years, 10 years to do this. Because if you're in growth mode and in gaining business every year, or at least sometimes the year in the market plateau, then that you have a strong business. I see it on Facebook. I see it all over. Agents that just got in the business less than 5 years. They're like, "Yeah, I'm doing so great." It's a little bit that could be just doing the right things, the right time, a little bit of luck, and then if you're not doing the right things of prospecting, the things I'm going to tell you about in this real estate or in this video, it's things that could just upheave your business and be out of the business. I've seen it happen. I don't want you to be part of that. So one of the things to think about is that you have to have several different lead sources. You can't just have one, like just your database. You should have several different lead sources, and I have some of my notes here. Is just basically we've gone through all of these different things over the last months and videos. We got your database, your emails, your text messages, your geo farming, your email campaigns, your open houses, your networking, your community groups, you're volunteering, you're getting involved in things. There's list goes on and on and on, and there's, networking with other businesses, other professionals. I mean, there, a list of many, many things. I'm always talking about the most common things there. So you have to have different lead sources. If your business is coming organically from you just being out there and people calling you. That's what happens to a lot of agents when they start. After they made a few phone calls, they contact their database, they do this, all of a sudden, oh, I got a buyer, oh, I got another buyer, and it just kind of comes in and kind of snowballs a little bit. But here's some of the things that you have to keep up. And one of the things is that you have is the first thing you have to do is always analyze where the business is coming from. So over this year, if you analyze the things that you've been doing, where every single house you sold, buyer you had, or listing you had, you should have this down already. But if you haven't, write down where it came from. What lead source did it come from? And when you got that lead source, I got this lead from, a referral from this person. This one was a sign call. This one was an open house. Just do all of that and write all that down. Then the first kind of things you want to do is, one, can you make it better? Can you make that lead source better? Getting those. So, like example, if you got a couple leads off an open house, maybe you should do more open houses, and now virtual open houses. I really push the virtual open houses with our agents. I see some of them doing them and putting them on their, posting them on their Facebook and putting it on their business pages and enhancing them. Not to go too much in detail because this could go on for hours, this video, but you could, I've been stressing agents, do an virtual open house, put it on your business page, and then spend a little bit of dollars, and you could send out that information in Facebook, a Facebook ad that goes to a certain city or certain area or certain geo area, and it's not expensive at all. It's just a few dollars, $10, $15, $20, and you could get that out there. You could do that for all of your listings or any listing you have. So that's one thing you can do, is to figure out how all these lead sources, or where you got the leads, can you make it better? Number two, should you invest money in those things? So should you invest money to make it better? So if you got some leads from something you're getting involved with, the community, you're getting involved in the community or volunteering something, and people who work that with you, or people that are involved in it getting in there, is it something that you could invest in? Like you're going to donate things or be a part of a group. You're going to pay for a networking group, or buy gift certificates. Like say a certain restaurant or business is giving you business, maybe you should invest in buying some gift cards from there and raffle them off to your database. There's so many different ways that you could try to invest a little bit of money to get even more out of it. You can do things like that. And have a plan. Have a plan of how to grow those database or those lead sources over next year, and have a plan. Like if you've gotten responses from your email campaigns, if you send out an email campaign, say you have 1,000 people in your email campaign, I don't know, is this just from past customers, your database of people, other professionals? Say you've gotten leads from your emails. Now, how can you make it better? And how can you have a plan for that? You're like, wow. Now, if you have a good email campaign, program that you use, there's lots of ones out there. Or if you have one through your company, and Century 21 has, through our Zap campaign, we have emails that can be sent out, or some agents use Constant Contact or MailChimp or things like that, or BombBomb. Those are examples of email programs or places you could use, and they show you who opens email. So one of the things you can do is you see what your open rate is, and how many people are opening it, and you could really have a plan and watch. You could change different subject lines. So some agents really change the subject line. They can see, wow, this month when I sent it out, it had this subject line and I got a much more percentage open rate than I did last month. So you still have a plan of watching it. Also, if you're getting leads from your database, maybe you want to increase the amount of emails that you send out. You send it out twice a month. Next, things you can do when you have an open rate. Again, I'm just going over ideas of what you could do with have a plan and actual things you could do to increase it. With those emails, you could see who's opening those emails, and then you could contact those people by text or call. You know that they're interested in you enough to at least open up their email, and especially if you've been sending out emails for a while, they know, and you see them consistently opening up your emails. They're interested in you somehow, either just what you're sending, or they like you, or they're not unsubscribing you to your emails. They're interested. So you should be reaching out to those people in another form. So anybody out there that's listening to this has an email campaign, is not watching who's opening those emails and what their open rate is, you got to start now. And also, those are people, you start contacting those people that are opening and send them a personalized, a personal note, connect with them on Facebook, call them, text them. You have to multi-layer your connection with the people in your database, and that's just one way to do it. Another idea is you got to know your market. So you got to know your market and watch what's going on in your market. So you're an expert in your market. So you could see the trends of what's going on. You could see when the expireds, if you want to hit expireds, you could preempt with expireds. I push a lot of our agents to, if you're brand new and you're like, what should I do? I say, get to know your market. Start watching the MLS. Also, might not be that easy right now with COVID and listings selling fast, but in a normal, steady market without a pandemic going on, I tell every agent to preview every single new listing. So every single new listing, preview it, or as long as you let the other agent know, you schedule the showing, let them know this is a preview, not a full showing. Is that making sure that you get their approval so you could see the house. So if you have potential buyers, you could see that. That is great. Then you get to know and see these houses, not just from the pictures or videos or virtual tours that are on the MLS. Also, your card goes into that house. You're showing that you showed that. So I always tell our agents, if that house ever comes up as expired, you probably have one thing better than a lot of other agents that might be calling that expired, is that you were in that house. So you could, if you know that house, you went in it, you previewed it, even if you didn't have a buyer at the time, you have something to tell these people. That's a whole nother video on how to enhance and your campaign for expired listings. So it's not too many going on right now, but there are always expired listings. So I have to do a video just on expired listings. Also, you got to know yourself. What things that you like to do? What sources that you think that you are the strongest in, and kind of enhance those. If you don't want to do door knocking or cold calling, or you're not really into Facebook that much. I've been getting this with a lot of agents, not a lot, but it's a few say, I'm not really big on Facebook. What should I do? Not do social media. Yes, it's not the greatest thing that you're not in social media. That social media is a great way to enhance your marketing, but it's not the end of the world either. You just got to be really good at everything else. So know yourself and what you are best in and what you enjoy doing in your prospecting, and enhance those. And I have some agents that they just have so much business they don't know what to do with, because they're always around people, talking to people, networking with people, getting involved. It comes down to whoever talks to the most people and those people connect with them the most will give them business. So there are, yes, if you're out there struggling in real estate and getting things going, or you're not getting to the next level, there are agents out there that are just falling across business. Just they think they're falling across business because of what they do normally in life day to day is networking and getting that business out there. So that's why I keep on saying everybody has the ability to do this. So last today, I'm just going to go over like 4 main things to think about, and 4 real categories of things. So these are more specific. So I was trying to kind of give you a background of some of the things that you should be thinking about. So now here, you want to go, number 1, of course, source that successful agents use is, of course, their database, but you always got to think about growing it. There's just a couple things you've got to specifically do in your database. You always got to be growing it, which means while you're calling your database, asking for referrals and people that you could, names of people to add to it. So you should always be adding to it. Successful agents are always adding to it. 2, you have to map it. You got to see where all of these people are at. Example, what I don't understand, and if you're one of these agents and I see them on Facebook, they have a buyer. Do you have right now, do you have a buyer that you can't find a house for? Example, if our office is in Solon, I have agents that go, I have a buyer that's looking for a house in Solon. We can't find him a house in Solon. I'm like, great. How many calls have you made? And they're like, calls to who? People in Solon. So this is a perfect time to reach out to the people in Solon. Example, you have to know where if you have a database of hundreds of people, thousands of people, bigger the better, and you have it organized where you can see where everybody lives, and type it into your contact management system, type in Solon, and everybody then in your database that lives in Solon. What a great opportunity. You have a buyer that's looking for a house in Solon. Call all the people that in your database that live in Solon. Every single one of them. Doesn't matter if you talked to them a week ago or 2 months ago. Calling them up, going, hi. Hi Joe, this is Tony with Central and HomeStar. You remember me? I sold you a house 2 years ago in Solon, and I have a buyer that's looking for a house in Solon. Was interested to know if obviously you just bought a house 2 years ago with me, but you might not want to sell. But do you know any of your neighbors or friends or people in your community that might want to sell their house or thinking about selling? Opens up a conversation. I feel that most agents just look on the MLS and that's it. You should be using every one of your buyers to reach out to people in that area, community, or city. Either cold calling, which you can do, people in your database, or even go door knocking. How hard is that? You could go you have a buyer that wants to be in a certain neighborhood. Obviously, right now with snow and cold is not the greatest time, but the people are probably home. That's great about winter. And check with the city to make sure what the solicitation rules are and times, and if you have to get a permit to go door to door, go door to door. Have a flyer, have information, have your mask on. I'm just telling you normal things. I've seen many successful agents door knock and do mailers and make calls to certain areas. These are things you can do to get business. So your database, you should make sure you're adding to it. You should map it so you should know where everybody lives that is in your database so you could call on them. And then also you could customize Facebook ads. So if you want to invest a little bit of money and you have a database of people in a certain area, and you say, okay, well, I'm going to customize a Facebook ad for just Solon area because I know I have a lot of people in my database there. You could also upload to Facebook. I'm not an expert on this, so I have information that directions on how people can do this. And I sent this agent how to customize a list of who you want to target ads to in Facebook. It makes them even cheaper, the ads, and you could target your actual database and you could upload that to Facebook. So if you want a little help with that, I could email you instructions on it, or you just Google it, and the directions on Facebook are right there. So these are things that successful agents are doing. So your database, geo-farming an area, the online target ads to those area, and open houses are 4 really important things that successful agents always do. So again, your database and growing it and connecting with it, see who's opening up emails, see who's responding to Facebook ads, geo-farm an area. So if you have a certain number of people in your database already in the area, might as well start geo-farming that area too, and get building your database in that area. And target ads in Facebook and social media. And last, open house. Continue to do open houses. I really stress to our agents to have listings that sell within a day or two. This is my suggestion: list it on a Friday, have an open house over the weekend, and don't accept any offers till Monday. I really don't understand agents selling houses in a day. Why limit that exposure for just a day? Let it sit there and get more marketing exposure. It might be a buyer that will pay another $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 for that house if they just saw it over the weekend and missed it in a day. So, and it gives you time to market yourself too. Use your listings to market yourself, selling just listed postcards or sending out a Facebook ad to an area or a city because you just have a new listing and you want to advertise it. You're not using your listings. You're selling them so fast. You're not using your listings to find more buyers and listings. So that's just my opinion and a suggestion on there. So I'm sorry I was a little all over the place with this because I was trying to condense whole days of classes on lead sources and what successful agents do with their lead sources. But again, reach out to me. I enjoy picking just one little lead source and spending half hour brainstorming with you, going over ideas on how to maximize it, grow it, and profit from it. It's more one-on-one with everybody because everybody's different what they enjoy doing and what they will do consistently. So again, remember, there's nothing you can't learn. There's nothing you can't do. Everybody has the same ability to succeed in real estate, and I don't want to see any agents be caught in that 87% that get out of real estate every 5 years. I see it right now. And it happens, it just always happens in any market. And I have a feeling it's going to happen, that it's going to increase over the next 5 years, 10 years, because right now the market's so good. There's a lot of agents getting into real estate. They're fumbling in real estate and getting business just because they're there, but they're not getting the skills, the things that I'm telling you about now. They're just getting business, and they're not doing the prospecting skills and the things consistently that they're going to do to have a long career in real estate. And I want to help more and more agents be that long career in real estate. So, I've been in business 28 years. God willing, I'll be here another 28 years and see many of you that are with our Central Twin HomeStar, and many of my friends out there in real estate, and especially the ones watching this. I'd love to see many of you in this business for a long time. That's it for today. Have a great Thursday. Thanks for watching. Sorry I was a little long today. And we'll see you tomorrow, high noon on Friday. Have a good one. Bye-bye.